Hey guys, thanks for stopping by iDub. My name's Tyson, and today we're going over how to select the right inline hockey skate. Now there's several different brands in the market as well as multiple skates in each manufacturer's line. So we're going to be walking you through the steps to take and making sure you're getting the right skate for you. There's not necessarily a best skate on the market, it's rather of which skate's going to work better for which player. So the best skate for me might not be the right one for you. And the first step in selecting the right skate is knowing your own foot. So what you want to do first is you want to measure your foot. If you don't have access something to measure your foot with, you can go ahead and use shoes that you may already have. One thing to keep in mind of it is some shoes may run a little bit different than others. For example, running shoes usually tend to be a little bit larger than other shoes as well as skate shoes. So usually it's best to go off a dress shoe size because that's going to be the most form-fitting. So me, for example, I kind of range between a 9.5, a 10 on shoes, but my dress shoes are 9.5, so that's what I'm going to base my skate selection off of. Okay, so now skates are available in multiple different widths. They do this to help accommodate different feet types. So basically giving you kind of the range of different widths that are available in inline skates. You're going to start with the most narrow being a C, and then D is going to be your standard. Then you have R, which is going to be kind of like a D+, where it's going to be slightly wider but not quite as narrow as a standard fitting skate. And then you have your E's and double E's. Now the E's and double E's are going to be the wider ones, and a lot of people are calling in, they're kind of asking, well, what's the difference as far as a measurement between a D and an E skate? And it's no real exact measurement between it because it's going to vary depending on what sizes you're comparing as well as the manufacturer. But kind of a rough rule of thumb that you can use is it's about 2/10 of an inch difference between a D and an E size, and that's going to be true for each increment as you move up on the scale. So the most common skate sizes for inline skates are going to be the D's, E's, and double E's, and then you also have several of them using R's now as well. Now also, while you're measuring your foot, you also want to know the characteristics of your feet. Do you have a wider foot, a narrower foot, a high arch, or a low arch? Because that's going to help you determine which manufacturer might fit your foot type best. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over the different characteristics of each major skate manufacturer. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a forefoot, as well as the volume, the heel pocket, and the stance. And then we're also going to be going over how that manufacturer sizes their skates, as well as what wheel setup they have, because each manufacturer has a slightly different wheel setup that's going to offer some different characteristics. So the first skate we're taking a look at are the Reebok hockey skates. Now the Reebok skates are going to offer a medium to wide forefoot, a medium to high volume, a medium to wide heel pocket, and a traditional stance. The Reebok skates are also going to have a tri-dye wheel setup. So that's on an adult senior sizes. You're going to have a 72 millimeter in the front, 76s in the middle, and then an 80 millimeter in the back. Also, another thing to keep in mind about the Reebok skates is they're going to be a size and a half down below your regular shoe size. And also the Reebok skates, a nice feature about them is the higher end ones, you have the pump feature, which allows you to customize that heel pocket a little bit, so you can actually narrow it up a little bit from that medium to wide. Next up are the CCM skates. The CCM skates are going to feature a wide forefoot, a medium to high volume, a medium heel pocket, and a traditional stance. These skates will also feature the same wheel setup as the Reeboks with a 72 millimeter in the front, 76s in the middle, and an 80 millimeter on the back. And also like the Reeboks, this guy is going to be in a size and a half down below your regular shoe size, so that's good to keep in mind when checking out the skates. Next up is the Mission skates. Now Mission has changed up their sizing and their fit a little bit from last year. They've actually teamed up with Bauer, so they're offering a slightly different fit. So the forefoot on these guys is going to be a medium forefoot, a medium to high volume, a medium to wide heel pocket, and a traditional stance. The Mission skates will also be featuring that same great high-low wheel setup. So that's going to be on the adult ones, 76 millimeters in the front, as well as 80 millimeters in the back. And also an important thing to remember about Missions is now that they are teamed up with Bauer, they're using the same sizing guidelines as them. So it's going to be a size and a half down below your regular shoe size. All right, so now we're taking a look at the Bauer skates. The Bauer skates are going to have a medium to wide forefoot, a medium volume, as well as a medium heel pocket. Now the Vapor skates are also going to offer an aggressive stance, so you can see they're slightly angled forward more than some of the other skates. Now that Bauer has also teamed up with Mission, you're going to have the 276 millimeters in the front and the 80 millimeters in the back. So it's no longer the step-up design or with the 78 on the back. They're using that same traditional high-low setup that Mission's using. Bauer also is doing a size and a half down below your regular shoe size. Now it's important to keep in mind about Bauer is they're actually offering a different fit on their X60 skate. So that was the characteristics for their regular line. Now the X60 skate is going to offer the same characteristics as their ice skate. So it's going to be slightly different, and going over it, In the forefoot, you're going to have a medium forefoot, volume, medium to low volume, medium heel pocket, and that aggressive stance. And you can really see it on this one, how it cuts in a little bit more. And then also on the wheel set, it's going to be the same, 76s in the front, and then 80s in the back, so that's going to be the high-low, as well as being a size and a half down below your regular shoe size. All right, so the tour skates are going to have a wide forefoot, a medium to high volume, a wide heel pocket, and a traditional stance. The tour skates are also going to have all 80 millimeter wheels on the adult sizes. How they're able to accomplish this is the DPS system. So underneath the front two wheels right here, it actually has a little bit of a cut in to the bottom of the foot. So it's going to allow you to have those larger wheels, but not pushing you up higher off the ground. The tour skates also are about a size down below from your regular shoe size. Okay, so the revision skates are going to have a wide forefoot, medium to high volume, medium heel pocket, and traditional stance. Also, as you can see, the revision skates have a drastically different wheel set from the other ones on the market. They're using that 100 millimeter wheel in the back for the speed of it, as well as you get the agility from the 72s in the front. Also, revision has a sizing guideline of one size down below your regular shoe size. So once you've established which manufacturer is going to fit best for your foot type, the next thing you want to do is you want to decide where in the line you want to go. Every manufacturer is going to have their entry-level skates as well as their top-of-the-line skates. And one of the biggest differences between those are going to be the amount of support that the skate's going to give, or the stiffness of the quarter package. So here we have a kind of mid-range Bauer skate, and you can see it has a lot less support than, say, their top-of-the-line skate, which is going to be a lot stiffer. So depending on a few different things are going to determine where in the line you should go. So it's not necessarily just the top of the line or the most expensive skate's going to be the best one, because that may not fit your style of play as much. So the three things you want to consider are: one, the overall size. Larger players are going to require a stiffer skate than smaller players. Basically what that is you just need extra support on it to support your weight. And also the same thing goes for smaller players, is you may not necessarily want a super stiff boot because you're not going to be able to flex that boot the same as someone would that's a little bit larger. Next thing you want to consider is how often are you playing. Players that don't play that often shouldn't have a top-of-the-line skate because that's not going to break in fast enough for them. Whereas if you're playing really frequently, you don't want a really soft skate because you're going to break down that skate too fast. And then the final thing you want to consider is the overall player's ability. More advanced players are going to require stiffer skates that are going to be more responsive to get the most out of them, whereas people that are just learning are going to want something a little bit softer that's going to be a little more forgiving. So those are some important things to consider to determine what level of skate you should get in a given manufacturer. Doing a quick overview of what we went over today, first step in selecting the right skate for you is knowing your own foot type. You want to know the characteristics of your foot as well as the size so you can determine which manufacturer to go with as well as what size skate to go with. Next thing you want to do, like I said, is you want to match up your foot characteristics with the characteristics of a manufacturer. So you have to see is whether or not a Reebok skate is going to work better for you, or a Vapor skate, or a Tour, or so forth. So that's going to be the next thing you want to do. Finally, you want to look at where in the line do you want to go. You want to look at the overall stiffness of the quarter panels. You want to base it off of your size, how often you're playing, as well as your ability. If you have any questions as far as what skate's right for you, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email, and we're happy to help you out. Another important thing to keep in mind is we do offer the free return shipping on skates. So say like you get one that's not quite right for you, we can work with you and make sure you get that right skate. Once again, my name's Tyson, and this is at inlinewarehouse.com.